Good morning and welcome back to the legislature again this week. This week on your list of items you will see LB 1058 and AM 2527 goes with that bill. That's what I want to visit with you about briefly this morning to let you know we're wanting you to give both of those a red light when it comes time to vote. LB 1058 is supposedly the faithful delegate bill. AM 2527 basically takes that same bill and makes a few different specifications, but they are both very dangerous and very deceptive. I'll try to briefly explain why. AM 2527 specifies that any delegate to a constitutional convention would be the lieutenant governor, the state auditor, the state treasurer, the secretary of state, and the Speaker of the Legislature. Interestingly, those individuals are constitutional officers, and it remains a mystery as to how they would be answerable to the legislature. Convention of States, who has been pushing LR 6, calling for an Article 5 convention, also likes a delegate bill because it gives a false sense of security to individuals who are concerned about what would happen at such a convention. They have a booklet available on their website entitled Article 5 Convention of States Citizens Pocket Guide. On pages 33 and 34, it becomes very evident that there is no limit to the types and number of amendments that could come out of a convention. They list some possibilities in their booklet. Those include amendments dealing with the healthcare, energy policy, land use, education, and many, many more. One would ask themselves, how can you get into those topics? But we have to remember that even though Convention of States claims their convention would be limited to 3 subject areas, fiscal restraints on the federal government, limiting the power and jurisdiction of the federal government, and term limits. Those are broad subject areas. That's why the subject matter can become so broad. And then, just last week, former Supreme Court Justice John Paul Stevens made a call for the repeal of the Second Amendment. And this could happen under a convention as well. We've been warning of that for months. These are things we don't want to see happen to our Constitution. And we're trusting you as our watchmen on the wall to protect our Constitution. LB 1058 and AM 2527 are very deceptive smoke screens. They're designed to lull the citizens into a sense of security, feeling that all is well and that nothing can go wrong. And it only takes referring back to when we had our first convention to know everything could change. In fact, the document itself could change, because that is what happened with the first convention. We changed from the Articles of Confederation, laid those aside, and came up with the wonderful Constitution we have now. Our concern is with the many special interest groups that we have now, who knows what would happen. So we ask you, please, when LB 1058 comes up this week and in the future, and AM 2527, please give it the red light, vote no, stand firm as guardians of our Constitution. Thank you so much for your time, and I wish you well this week.